Welcome to Transition Tuesdays for this Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here today, Transition Army. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you could have been anywhere in this world today. I'm quite aware you could have been anywhere in this world today. But you decided to be with me. And I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome my good friends to Transition Tuesdays for this last Tuesday of the month of February 2023. I appreciate you guys coming. As you all know, we have an action-packed show once again, my friends, but before we start the show, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transitions. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays here in New York City, which we are getting our cars out of the snow. We had some snow yesterday, like a couple of inches. I think it was like 2 to 4 inches. But we just caving our way, we get our way, we're shoveling our way out of the snow. The rain has melted the snow, so we are good to go. So, hey, I appreciate you guys joining me today and each and every Tuesday at Transition Tuesdays. So I want to give you guys a round of applause for being here today in your busy schedule. I appreciate that. So kick back, relax. You need to get a beverage of choice, an adult beverage of choice, please do so. It goes a little bit better while watching the show. So yeah, man, let's talk a little bit. Like I posted earlier, want to talk about the University of Alabama, the tragic events went down there, and this little pat down incident by their star player Brandon Miller. Want to talk about that and talk about the term that people are using a lot, which is tone deaf, and I'm going to go over that. And before we start, hey, we got on the line, we got the voice of the men's and women's, Jaspers, man, on ESPN. This guy's everywhere, and he decided to join us today, too. My guy, Uncle Smoothie. What's going on, Smooth? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, yeah, man, this is like a tragic event. A young lady has died because of the incidents about two players on the University of Alabama, which is the team is ranked number 2 in the nation right now. 2 of their players is up for capital murder for one doing the shooting this young lady who resists the cat calls or what have you of this player allegedly, and this one player allegedly shoots inside her car and kills her. So it's really a tough thing what's going on here in the University of Alabama and their star player with the pat down incident during the starting lineups. And that got me thinking about the word tone deaf. And I just want to give a clear-cut definition of the word tone deaf that we're going to be using tonight and talking about tonight. So, definition of tone deaf is having or showing a insensitivity or lack of perception, particularly in matters of public sentiment, opinion, or taste. So, like I mentioned before, this young kid who was the star basketball player. So like during the starting lineups, usually players have a ritual, and the one ritual for this star player, even after the incident, because in a way he's kind of involved in the incident, but I'll go over that as well. But you see when he comes out for the starting 5 because he's one of the starters, and they come out as introduction, which is a great thing a great honor to come out to. If you're lucky enough to play high school basketball, college basketball, or what have you, the starting lineups is something that you cherish, something that you relish, something that's a fun thing to do. But in this kid's case, he comes up, hands up, and I think it's a walk-on. It's like patting him down, and he's had this, particular ritual. They said it took place well before this incident, but I don't know why he would be doing it then. And I don't know why he's doing it now. He's looking tone deaf. He's looking insensitive to what has taken place. Yeah. So, and I want to just read a couple of articles about that. So, you have Alabama's men's basketball coach Nate Oates, called freshman star forward Brandon Miller's pregame introduction routine of being pat down by a walk-on before heading to midcourt. He called it, deemed it not appropriate after this team beat Arkansas 86-83 on Saturday. The coach is quoted saying, "I don't watch our introductions. I'm not involved with them. I'm drawing up plays during that time," Oates said in a pregame, post-game news interview. He went on to say, "Regardless, it's not appropriate. It's been addressed, and I can assure you it definitely will not happen again for the remainder of the season." All right, there's a couple of things about coaches. Coaches know everything. Coaches know what's going on. Granted, they're drawing up plays and they're drawing up the game plan, for the game that's about to come up. Yes, but coaches know rituals. Somebody in there had to know the ritual. Somebody had to be the adult, and somebody had to know about this is not fair. This is insensitive to the family of that young lady who was killed. All right, so this is totally tone deaf. This is totally insensitive to the needs of others. Okay. Now Miller, who has done the same pat down pregame introductions for games this season, they say he's done this on a regular. Brandon Miller. Now, and this is important about the case if you didn't know about this case. So Brandon Miller brought now ex-teammate Darius Miller's gun to him the night of the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Jamia Jonee Harris. After Miles texted Brandon and asked him to do so. Okay, so the guy Miller brings the gun because he was instructed to do so by Miles to bring his gun. Okay, Miles and Michael Lynn Davis. He was another player on the team who faced capital murder charges from the death of Harris. Investigators said that Miles, who has been now removed from the Crimson Tide program, admitted to providing a gun used in the fatal shooting, but Davis fired the weapon. Okay, Miller has not been charged with the crime at all. Okay, he has not been tried. The star player has not been charged with the crime at all. And Tuscaloosa Chief Deputy District Attorney Paula Whitney said, "There's nothing we can charge Miller with." Okay, there's nothing the star player can be charged with. Can be charged with the incident. Only thing he can be charged with really is being tone deaf. Okay, both Coach Oates investigators said Miller has cooperated with police. All right. What else there about this case? As I'm getting that together, and who do we have? Let me check and see if we have anybody else joining us today. Yes, we got Felicia joining us from The Rock. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome. Man, so Oates went on to say that he's talking about the star player, okay? He's one of the most mentally, if not the most mentally tough kid I've ever coached in my life. And I've been coaching for a while, Oates said. Okay? While he completely understands the situation's tragic and he takes it very seriously, and he's been cooperating the whole time, he's also done a great job being able to focus on practices, games, and just getting this laser focus when he's dialed in to where his feet are at, okay, where he is, situation. So, man, I tell you, let me just see something really quick. Yeah, so tone deaf, this kid, and again, people might say, who's at fault? Like who do you fault for being tone deaf in this situation? Like, who do you fault here in this case? Do you fault the star player, Brandon Miller? Do you fault Coach Oates by being insensitive by that? Do you fault the University of Alabama by being tone deaf? Or is it all of the above? Like, who do you fault in being tone deaf? And again, I'll read the definition of tone deaf. Okay, now this might help you decide. Tone deaf, the definition is having or showing a insensitivity or lack of perceived of perception, particularly in matters of public sentiment, opinion, or taste. Okay? So who do you fault? Do you fault the player, Brandon Miller, who exhibited this particular pat-down ritual that you want to call it? Can he be considered tone deaf? Do you fault Coach Oates, who says, yeah, he didn't know about this incident, but now it's never going to happen again, if you're buying that? Do you fault the University of Alabama, the whole program, the whole university? Do you fault them? Or is it all of the above? I'll start first. I fault all of the above. Because, hey, bottom line is this. A kid is going to be a kid, okay? But a lot of times in these situations, there has to be an adult in the room who's going to act like an adult and give proper guidance. Someone had to tell this young man that, hey, look, this is not the right thing to do. Okay, you're exonerated from it, the whole thing and everything, let sleeping dogs lie. But here you are, as a young kid, you're partaking in this ritual about patting down, being totally tone deaf about this situation. Somebody has lost their families. Three lives are being changed. The lives of 3 people are being changed. The young lady who passed, the 2 guys who were charged for capital murder. Lives have changed. So you can't, in a way, again, with Brandon Miller's situation, a kid is going to be a kid. It's up to adults to approach these players and let them know, hey, look, this is wrong, what you're doing. So I fault the kid. I fault in terms of being tone deaf. I fault Coach Nate Oates. I fault him as well because he knows darn well. He knows about every situation about his program, what goes on, the odds and ends, to what toothpaste they use. He knows it all. So he was tone deaf in this matter too, and trying to double down and backtrack about things. In his press conference about the whole situation. Being insensitive. He's another one, the University of Alabama, which everything stems from. So I fault them all for being tone deaf. You have to be sensitive to people's needs, especially in a matter like this. And again, the kid hasn't been charged with anything, so I guess it's okay for him to play because he hasn't been charged in anything. Okay? He just brought the gun to the scene and instructed the guy who did the shooting, he just brought his gun. I don't know what the situation was that. And again, people have to be in these people's ears. Granted, if the girl, did not succumb to your advances, what did that mean? You had to shoot her? Who's doing this? And who's advising him to do this? Someone has to be in these kids' ear. So it's just a tragic thing because, the young lady has perished, person has died, their family's changed forever. And the people involved with the capital murder charge, their lives have changed forever. And it's just insensitive, man. It's just insensitive, and it's tone deaf with that, and but that's my take on it. I think everybody involved is tone deaf. What's your take on this matter? Because it's really a tragedy. It's really a tragedy. So you hope that this kid, because you're gonna have opportunities because Alabama's still playing and they're gonna have a great run probably in the NCAA tournament. Let's just hope somebody, an adult in the room steps in the room and tells this kid this is not the right thing to do. Maybe I would have the kid have a little press conference and apologize to the family for if he had, by those harmful remarks and harmful gestures, because that's harmful to the family. That's harmful to everybody involved. That's harmful, and it serves as a means of being tone deaf as well. I think the best thing to do will be this kid have a press conference and apologize for his actions. That's the right thing to do. That's the adult thing to do. And maybe that might appear, maybe this star guy might be listening to this, to this program. That's the right thing to do. We know what the right thing to do, and that's the right thing to do is to apologize for your actions. If you offended anybody, especially that family and the deceased and the family of the deceased, you have to apologize for your actions. You have to do it. You have to do it. But what's your take on it, everybody? What's your take? Who is tone deaf in this matter? Is it the freshman star guard Brandon Miller? Forward, is the head coach, Nate Oates. It's the University of Alabama, or as I mentioned, I believe it's all the above who being guilty of being tone deaf in this situation. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. Celebrate the victory that you hear today. Celebrate the victory that it's going to be March the 1st tomorrow. Celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory, man. As I celebrate you guys, okay? Let's get the theme music going. Here we go. Yes, yes. Oh. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let's scan through and see if anybody is making comments. I think I saw one. Hold on 1 second. Let me just turn this music down for a second. I think I saw a comment before we head on out. Oh, Chris says, everybody in Alabama basketball family needs to take responsibility. I agree with you, Chris. I'm not sure if you heard my sentiments about it. I believe everybody up in the basketball program, players, coaches, whoever, somebody needs to, they need to take responsibility and accountability. And what does that mean? Apologizing for the actions. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, I think the player who were responsible for these actions to come forth and apologize and be the adult in the room, since we don't have any adults in that program, it seems like. So let's have the kid step up and take full responsibility of his actions and not be so tone deaf. All right? Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, again, I want to thank you guys for watching each and every Tuesday. I appreciate you guys. If you want to see this episode, along with our past episodes, please join us on our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays, okay? Watch it, see the past shows and episodes, get your good laugh on. You can see us again and over and over and over again. I appreciate you if you do that, okay, guys? If you haven't been following me, you can always follow me on Instagram at Russ Will Transitions. That's Russ Will Transitions with an S, okay? If you follow me, I will follow you back. I promise you on that. Want to give a major shout out to our sponsor, Sweet Candy Cafe, which Felicia Evans Long is on here, who is the founder and owner of Sweet Candy Cafe, located in downtown Lumberton, North Carolina, the home of Southern Sweetness. So again, you can always go to sweetcandycafe.com to order your confectionery goodies, okay? You'll be glad you did, and your taste buds will thank you. So make sure you head to sweetcandycafe.com after the show is done. We're almost done here, hon. Okay, we're almost done. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we say in parting, happy transitioning, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless.